Welcome to the Enriched Minds podcast, people. I hope you are all well and healthy. And for those that aren't, maybe you can get something out of this episode. I was researching why is America so unhappy? Because it's been intriguing me lately to see so many unhappy Americans, and we're supposed to be the number one country in the world, but yet and still people just seem to always find something to get mad about. And I'm a firm believer in God. I'm not a religious person, but I believe in God, and I also believe in the serpent. And the serpent is very clever, because God is never clever, but the serpent is. So it made me want to run down a list of weapons that the serpent may use in spiritual warfare. Whether we know it or not, some of you don't have to believe it. I understand that I'm not arguing with you, but for those that do, this episode is for you. The serpent uses weapons against us that sometimes we're not aware of. And the number one weapon that I want to talk about is distractions. Now, a lot of single men, like myself, you might find a difficult time to find a woman to date. And it seems like when you finally do find that woman, all the women want to come at you. Now, you might be taking this woman seriously and you want to possibly get married to this woman. But all these distractions come in with these other women. That's just one form. That's not, of course, not the only thing, but that's something that I feel like a lot of men might be going through right now. But distractions is one of the most effective weapons that the serpent will use against someone who's trying to strengthen their spirit. Now, how does that affect us? When you're distracted, you're pretty much ineffective spiritually. Meaning, my friend and I talk a lot about these types of things and why people are so down and out, or their spirits seem malnourished sometimes. And sometimes in life, we get so distracted with our relationships, whether we're trying to get a promotion, whether we're trying to get this business off the ground, whether we're trying to get a podcast to be successful. Sometimes this distracts us from putting work into our spirit, strengthening our spirit to save us from depression. And sometimes when we don't do that, we slip into depression. And that's just one of the very effective weapons that I see nowadays. Sometimes we put the cart before the horse, especially in this country. In this country, in order to get respect, you got to have something, right? Because let's face it, if you're broke and you don't have anything, a lot of people in America don't really have time for you. They really don't want to have long conversations with you, and they're certainly not going to take any advice you may give them. Instantly, you're discredited because you have nothing, you've achieved nothing, therefore no one wants to hear anything you want to advise them on. And in our pursuit to gain a lot of the monetary gains and a lot of materialistic things to make us seem like we're successful, right? Like we're not just happy with any old place to live. It has to be a nice place to live in a nice area. We can't say, I'm happy just to not be homeless. A lot of Americans don't say that. We're not saying we're happy with the mini mansion. Some people need to have a mega mansion. And this, I know a lot of you guys have seen the news where a lot of rich people even commit suicide sometimes, because sometimes we don't put the work into our spirit to strengthen it. And when these problems occur, such as like a midlife crisis sort of, where you're just so lost, you don't know what else to do, and the pain is unbearable, and the only way you believe that you can fix that pain is through death. It's unfortunate that this goes on so much in this country, and I just want to do my part. Maybe I can reach somebody. Maybe someone doesn't know how to navigate through it. Maybe you don't see the enemy's weapons against you. Because one thing that we know for sure is if you don't know your enemy, you definitely can't defeat it. In order to defeat these things, in order to defeat the serpent, you got to be aware of him, and you got to know where to see him at, because he's very slick. And this list is going to let you know a lot of people, we all suffer from this. Whether you believe in God or not, it still affects everybody. This is a universal thing. This isn't a religious thing. I'm not Muslim. I'm not nothing. I just believe in God. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. But we're all suffering from something on this list. That's for damn sure.